Well, at Davos, there is one particular theme that makes this Davos 2018 World Economic Forum rather special. And it's all about a reflection of trying to make the world a more peaceful place. How? Well, because their theme this time is creating a shared future in a fractured world. One could think of the word peace when you hear that. And that's exactly why we have somebody who really needs no introduction. He is a Nobel Peace Laureate. He is with us right now, Kailash Satyarthi. Thank you so much, sir, for being with us out here at Davos.
Pleasure.
But what I wanted to ask you was that you can have these World Economic Forums and you can have a number of conversations and talks and promises and all that. And I sense that that's happening, even with the Prime Minister of India coming out here, giving that keynote address and saying that the world is one family and we all need to work towards making it a better place. But do you think the talk at the World Economic Forum with all the elites out here, politicians, will translate into action?
Well, it's always a mixed. It's a place of socialization and sometimes business deals, of course. But definitely, there are people who come with very good ideas and commitment to make this world a better place. But when we talk of a shared future, I always emphasize that let us begin now as a sense of urgency with shared present. If we don't have shared present, we cannot have shared future. And what does it mean for me? It means every single child has to be in school. Every single child has to be freed. Every single child should have safe life.
Right.
So if it is not happening, we can never have a safe future. So it will remain a fractured world and more fractured.
Okay.
We have already globalized economies, markets, productions. We have globalized technology and so on. But this is the right time to globalize compassion.
But generally, what do you think about his leadership right now with not just women, but also child rights? Is it moving in the right direction? Or is there more that needs to be done immediately?
Much more needed to be done immediately.
That's your message to the Prime Minister?
It's my message to the Prime Minister, and I speak to him and tell him several times. But the good thing is that at least Prime Minister agreed to me that his government is going to bring a law against human trafficking. There was no good law in India. Actually, there were bits and pieces in legal frameworks. But he promised, and his government promised, that they are going to bring an anti-human trafficking law. So many of the girls and women would be saved, hopefully.
Okay, fair enough. Final question. You have been traveling in Europe. Tell us what you've been up to and also a little bit about your film.
So I was in Europe only last 2 days, and yesterday I addressed in the Swedish Parliament. So a group of Parliament members, it's a multi-party group which has invited me to speak on education. So the focus was on education. It's very ironical that world is not able to mobilize $40 billion to ensure education for all children in the world in primary and secondary classes. And there is an upcoming event for replenishment of funding, which is going to happen in Dhaka. Global, yeah. Yes. So it's a global thing. So I pushed that idea and I got very good response from the politicians as well as from CEDA, the Development Aid Agency. So I'm quite happy that it would be a policy win for me if they continue to support as well as they increase their support. My indication is that they will increase their support. So it would help millions of children in the world.
All right, that would be another...
What about the film?
Yes.
I'm quite excited about it.
Kailash. I saw the trailer.
So actually I was there in Sundance Festival, and that was a different place for me. I have never been into this glaze and glamour and all the Hollywood stars and rubbing shoulders from here and there.
Well, ever since you became a Peace Prize laureate.
But I have never been to such place where the film premieres were held. And my premiere was very successful. I am sure that this film will help in creating unprecedented amount of consciousness in the world against slavery, because many people in America whom I met, they were crying and they said that we are shocked to learn that slavery does exist in the world in its cruelest forms, and we have to do something. So people started asking what to do, how we can be engaged. So that's a good start, I would say.
All right. Thank you so much, sir, for your time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
It's an honor.